you wild web slingers out there. It's your two least favorite uncles from Cinephellas back here tonight. I am Logan Myers, and that's my good mate over there.
And hello again. I'm Henry Hill, and we are happy to be back with you guys once again. We are returning to this series. We've already reviewed the first two episodes, the brand new Disney Plus Spider-Man animated series. We're reviewing the entire first season of Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man.
So, you're Spider-Man. With my help, you'll achieve greatness.
Oh man, this suit's incredible! If you ever need another butt kicking, just look for your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
That's right, you wild rascals out there. We're back to talk more your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Of course, these two wild old guys are huge fans of Spider-Man, all the different iterations over the years, cartoon, Sam Raimi films, of course, the new Tom Holland movies. Andrew Garfield ones, not as much. Bringing it in the MCU, and of course, with the recent burst of a lot of animated shows like X-Men 97, Invincible, there's a bunch of cartoons coming out, and of course, this is their take on Peter Parker as Spider-Man and how he becomes this character in the first few episodes. We get a glimpses, him getting bit by the spider, becoming Spider-Man, and that's really where the show and series kicks off. And this is a 10 episode run, and it's from the get-go of the series all the way to the end. It was a fun ride.
It was a kick-ass series. This was one of the better animated series and Disney Plus shows to date. You mentioned X-Men 97. That would be my number one. This would be close behind. Number two is where I would put this. Let's talk about some of the highlights. Norman Osborn, played by Coleman Domingo. He really had that gravitas. I love how they changed the character from, it being how we knew him from the older movies and stuff and totally switch it here where he's like the Tony Stark character in this universe for Peter Parker, goes to him for advice, creates the technology that helps Spider-Man, overcome all the villains that he comes across, and voiced by Coleman Domingo, who just has that gravitas in his voice and is the perfect casting in this role. I really loved Norman's arc over the series or the season here in this new series, and it was pretty cool how he's a big techie and had all the inventions going all at once, and inviting Peter in as like a student, and then noticing Peter's talents, and then finding out that he's Spider-Man too, and then them working together. And then what happens finally at the end, I was surprised by that too. It was a cool story and arc for Peter and Norman this season.
Norman was the mentor, and he definitely had that cool and suave voice, of course, being voiced by Coleman Domingo, a great actor we were talking about earlier, but really brought some good energy to this character. I think of this character, think of Willem Dafoe, but I thought, Coleman Domingo playing this character was originally unique and awesome at the same time. I thought he knocked it out of the park. One of the best characters in the show. And of course, you had the young Harry, his son, which is friends with Peter. But one thing I thought they got right with this show was Peter Parker, the dorky science nerd kid that transforms into the superhero. And throughout the series, he's trying to find himself and how he can be the best Spider-Man he possibly can. Of course, that has to do with Norman Osborn, pushing him into his full potential, as a student, also as a superhero. So I really liked what they brought to this character, and they did Peter Parker right in this, I thought. And of course, all the characters, there's so many of them in this series, 10 episode run, a lot of familiar faces, villains popping up along the way. My favorite being towards the end, having to do with Doc Ock, and then the character that, of course, Spider-Man is fighting throughout the last few episodes. I thought that was incredible. I love what they did with that character.
Yeah, there were some fun action scenes with those villains. We also got to see Scorpion, who is really cool. Yeah, love that. And yeah, like you mentioned, Doc Ock and how he looked like from the older comics and animated series. I love the look of him. Can't wait to see him moving forward. He didn't really get to become the full villain this season. And, we didn't get to see Green Goblin either. But we know that Norman's eventually going to take over that persona, and that's going to be awesome to see. I loved all the high school scenes and stuff too. It lended to the credibility of Peter being this, freshman high school student, going into school, making friends, also, coming across some of the jocks that bullied him and kind of led him into becoming this persona as Spider-Man. And what they did with the whole story this time, we all have seen the original story with Spider-Man, his Aunt May, Uncle Ben, the whole backstory with that. They really flipped everything in this timeline here and added the multiverse to it. We got to see Doctor Strange come in and, really tweak the story, but not change it in a way where it just throws you off completely. It just makes it fresh and exciting. And I thought they did a really good job writing in this animated series. Everybody's characters were written well, fleshed out. It was a good arc for a lot of the characters. We got to see Harry Osborn, be one of Peter's best friends and him kind of think that his dad's a do-gooder there. But as the season goes on, you kind of see what Norman's doing behind the scenes, and the seeds are planted for him to become Goblin. And, with Harry involved, how's that going to look going forward? There's a lot of possibilities with these young characters moving forward in this series. But this first season was an absolute blast from start to finish. From the first episode I was in, the beautiful animation, it's animated, it looks terrific. All the animation, all the voice acting is great. We get some really good voice acting, like we mentioned, from Coleman Domingo, among others. Hudson Thames, who voices Peter here, really awesome too. I really dug his Spider-Man and his interpretation of the character. It felt a lot like the Peter that we know from the comic books and from the Spider-Man video games, and really just felt like a great addition to the Spider-Man story.
It's the familiar story we know of Peter Parker, how he becomes Spider-Man, but it's also refreshing and new at the same time. I think there's a lot of nostalgia and throwbacks to the 80s and 90s cartoons with a modern take in this. And I thought that was really refreshing because I went in with low expectations. I've seen this so many times. There's so many versions of this character over the years, but it really drew me in. A few episodes in, I was really hooked on it, and then keep watching it. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm on episode 8. Like I'm falling into the world. That's good writing. There was really great writing. Of course, the voice actors and characters, people showing up along the way. And another thing that hooked me was the intro, the opening song, the animation, and that music itself has like a modern take to it, which is really awesome. And I was really impressed with this. Of course, love Spider-Man, love the character, been following it a long time. I thought this is great for a newer generation, for kids that maybe not familiar with it, and also great for the fans that have been, hanging with Spider-Man all these years. So it's good for everybody, young kids and adults alike, and was really impressed with this 10-episode run. They really set it up nicely for where they're going to go the next season, and I'm excited to see what happens. I'm going to be bringing in some really big players, huge players into this, and I'm really on board for it. Dr. Octavius in this, incredible, like you were saying, much like the cartoon, the comic, and I love where they're setting that character up. Had a great time with your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man press across the board. It's a show you guys definitely check out. It's currently streaming on Disney Plus, 10-episode run. So with that being said, I'm going to give this first season, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. Doc Ock, hair pieces.
This show is awesome. A blast from start to finish. I also, about the introduction, the intro with the song, the comic book cover for each episode. Really loved that. It's just fun from start to finish. It felt like you were following a high school kid just entering school and then heightening it with all his superpowers that he gets. And also, all the humor along the way. I thought they did a good job with the humor. It was funny at times, the action nonstop, and the twists and turns along the way. It definitely turned some things on its head in regards to what you already know about the story. It flipped some things in surprising ways. So with that being said, yeah, I too had a blast with your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. It's all episodes are airing on Disney Plus right now. We recommend you guys should check it out. If you guys have kids, definitely a good introduction to Spider-Man and something that you can sit down with and enjoy at the same time as your kid. I'm going to give your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, I'm going to give it a 4.5 out of 5 Norman Osborn hair pieces.
Anyways, want to hear from all you wild mass assailants out there. What did you like about your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man? What didn't you like about it? What's your favorite Spider-Man movie or TV show? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, check out these wild uncles on Facebook, X, and Instagram, and our website, Cinephellas.com, for latest, greatest TV, movie news and reviews.
We'd love to hear from all you guys what you guys think of the series after you watch it. Let us know in the comment section. Thanks, everybody, for watching our review of the first season of your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. And until the next Cinephellas TV review, I'm Uncle Henry.
And I'm Uncle Logan Miles, signing out till the next TV review. Cheers!
Greatest name in the great.